Hello everybody, my name is Axel the Baxolotl, and welcome back to Reading Morganite. I promise I'm going to finish this fanfiction. I promise. It's just such a chore to read. I have such a hard time getting through the chapters. But we are continuing Morganite. Finally, I believe I left off on chapter 13 last time, so we're moving on to chapters 14 and 15, so let's get started. Chapter 14, Wherein Do Your Loyalties Lay? I started to panic, and instantly, and Kunzite swore loudly. They got way! I knew this would happen, she shouted, and the human, too, is gone. Morganite, why in the fuck did you ever leave? There are way too many commas. Not only that, that sentence was just royally fucked up. That whole thing right there, just horribly written. Damn. I flinched, but I knew she was just frustrated and didn't actually hate me. I was worried for you, I answered, snobbing. You don't have to me. I'm the one who's worried for you. I don't need your worry, she growled. The Himitsu probably took your friend, and they're going to experiment him. They want gems to look like humans, so if they can make humans into gems and still have them be humans, that would be all the more better. The Himitsu's goals still confuse the absolute fuck out of me. Like, I know they want gems to look more like humans than gems, but why? Why is the question? Like, that goal doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It's just nonsense. John, no, I whimpered, feeling sad that I couldn't save Doobie, and the last time we spoke I yelled at him. All we can do is try to figure out where they went, Kunzite said, and she glared at me. And did you forget why I brought you here? No, I shrieked, forgetting. You have to get changed, idiot. You look like a person in the night. And the shirt isn't doing anything to hide your fucking gem, Kunzite sneered. So do you want to look human or do you want to look gem? Make up your mind, dumbass. I don't see why it matters. She's by all technicality both like Steven. So I don't see why she has to look one way or the other. I don't know. Again, this whole plot does not make sense. At all. It's not even a good fucking plot. It's just nonsense. I hurried to my room in the temple and slipped on a white sundress with a pink shawl just to be quick. I ran back to Kunzai and I was happy she was still there. Good. Now fucking come on, they could be way out of Beach City by now, and if they're getting orders from their leader, she must be nearby, she said. So we left after that, and the town was still desert. Desert? Desert. It's desert. Morganite, said Kunzai. When you were looking for me, did you see anyone suspicious? Anyone you don't recognize? I thought, and then I remembered. There was a girl in the Kenobi, I said. Her name was Shoru. She was Japanese. She said she wanted to talk to me. Kunzite looked mad. Talk about what? What gives her the nerves? I don't know, I squeaked. I lied and said you were outside so she'd leave me alone. Well, that might be good because if she's a gem, fuck knows what they would have done, said Kunzite. If you ever see her mug again, be careful. I nodded, but I wasn't confident, and I didn't think I'd be able to stand up again if I saw her. Maybe things would go faster if we split up to look for clues, I reasoned. Yeah, probably. If you see anything suspicious or the crystals come back, throw your scythe into the air to get me. If I see anything, I'll shoot a flare, Kunzite said. I'll look by the donut. You look over by the Funland. I agreed, and I went to Funland. Like the rest of the city, it was deserted, and nobody was around except for sand. I wandered, and nobody was there. Not Doobie, or Aquamarine, or Cinnabar, or anyone. I noticed in the arcade, though, that one of the games was on, and someone was playing it. It was like Dance Dance Revolution, and they were really good, whoever they were. Something was familiar, though, and I didn't know what. I was too scared to approach, so I stayed safe in the door and played with Shoal. Too scared. Hello? What are you doing here? I asked the person. The game was loud, so they didn't turn on until they got a perfect score and turned around. I gasped, since it was Shoru. She was different, though, and was glasses and wore a white hoodie, black yoga capris, and flip-flops. She had a black clip in her hair where she had a bow before, and her eyes were still different colors, but her hair was styled differently and she looked more like Lapis. There was also a lollipop in her mouth, and she threw it away and smiled when she turned and saw me. "Miss Morgan," she greeted me, smiling. "What brings you here?" I stumbled back, trying to summon my weapon, but not. "I'm not supposed to talk to you." "Hmm? Who said?" Shoru got off the DDR machine and came towards me, where I fell on the ground and smiled. "I just want to speak with you, my new friend." "But you could be with the Himitsu," I stutter. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? If you think somebody is with an evil organization that you are actively trying to stop, you don't automatically confront them about possibly being in that evil organization, especially when you are a sniveling coward. I cannot with this character. Morganite does nothing but give me a headache. This is ridiculous. "But don't you understand my culture? Himitsu is my surname. I have no idea what you're speaking of," Shoru said. The door to the arcade closed behind me, and the arcade was dark, and I shivered. She came closer. "So can't we talk like friends?" I screamed, but I knew Kunzite didn't hear me across from town. Shoru bent down and met my level. "So, Miss Morgan, wherein do your loyalties lay?" she asked. "I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go, please," I screamed. "Kunzite!" Shoru didn't seem to care that I was screaming past being concerned. Kind of. "Miss Morgan, I wonder if you are truly a human," she said. "It is Morgan Thomas, right? That's your name?" Curious. I don't understand what is happening. I really don't understand what's happening. What is going on? This doesn't make any sense. I'm growing more and more frustrated as I continue to read. I sobbed and cried and screamed more, and Shuru basically had me cornered. "Well, may I see your shawl for a sec?" She took my shawl and saw my gem. She gasped. "Dear me, what could this be? Is this Morganite? We haven't seen Morganite in hundreds of thousands of years. How fascinating." "So you are a gem," I whimpered. "Of course," said Shoru with a smile. "My name is Shorl." I'm not... whatever. "Shoru is what I'm called in Japan, and it's a fake name, and you were right when you guessed that I'm Himitsu. You know, in the old Earth world, it was common for one's occupation or clan to be their surname. That applies to me, since I am a Himitsu." "Are you the one who killed Sonia?" I questioned. "No, that was Lapis Lazuli," Shoral said, "although you could say that she didn't do it alone." I was about to ask more and cry more before the arcade burst open, and it was someone to save me. My mouth was agape. It was Lapis at the door. "You," she said, and she looked at Shoral. "You're the one who took my freedom again." Shoral smiled and was uncomfortable before everything went completely dark and Lapis gasped. When it was light again, Shoral was gone. I muttered, "she's in the Himitsu." "I know," said Lapis. "That's why we have to find her and we have to kill her." Okay. Sure. I don't have any words for this fucking story anymore, I swear. She's trying so hard to write Shoru as like a really intimidating, scary character. But I cannot for the life of me take her seriously at all. Oh, okay. On to Chapter 15. Chapter 15, Massive Recuperation. Lapis and I started going back to the temple. "What happened to you? Why did you kill Sonia?" I asked her, shaking a bit, because I was still scared that Shoral would come back. And Lapis was the one who killed my best friend, and she was beside me, looking tired and really mad. "That gem earlier, she made me do horrible things and put me under her control, so I could make the crystal gems part of Himitsu and research for them," Lapis explained. "I killed your friend under their control and took the ocean after they let go of me so I could expose the two gems living under the ocean, so the crystal gems would know who to fight. Then I got put under control again, and they knocked me out. I just so happened to find you here. I think the gems are back in the temple, and your gem friend is running around somewhere, swearing. I can hear her from where she is." I listened, and I could hear Kunzite swearing and screaming my name too. "I'm glad you're okay," I said. "I was so shaken up when it turned out to be you that killed Sonia." "I know. I'm sorry for your friend. I only hope that you'll forgive me," Lapis said. Yes, I will, I said. I understand that you were under Shorl's control. You couldn't help yourself. And besides, it's more my fault anyways for bringing Sonia along on such a dangerous mission. Let's say that it was equally both our faults, Lapis said. No, not really, but okay. Anyways, I should teach you how to fight sometime. I'm sure your homeworld friend could show you a few things, but I'm really good, so I could show you how to do a lot of damage with your scythe, since I noticed that you kinda sucked when I fought you. I blushed. Okay, when things calm down, I still don't know where the ocean gems or Doobie are. If I had to wager a guess, they're probably back at the basin, Lapis said, and point to the ocean, or where it used to be. I'm not putting it back until those two gems, who were up to no good, are poofed and bubbled, she explained. So what should we do? I asked. Should we go get them before they go, or go back to the gems for help? Well, you should go home before you get yourself hurt. You have no idea how to be a real gem. I doubt that you can even be poofed, Lapis said. I don't want to be responsible for another kid dying. I'll get the Himitsu and bring them back, don't worry. But they like the water. They're 2-on-1, they'd probably beat... Oh, it's 2-on-1, they'd probably beat you. This is why you proofread and edit your stories before you publish them, jeez. I screamed. I'll be fine, you underestimate me, Lapis said. Now go and tell Steven that I'm okay and that I say hi. I wanted to argue, but I couldn't, so I left. As Lapis left towards the basin, and I went to the temple. Sadly, Beach City was getting more populous, and I didn't see Kunzite until she bumping into me. Morganite, the fuck have you been? I heard you screaming and crying on earlier, but I couldn't find you. What's the fucking problem? She asked, seeming angry, but in a concerned way. Shoral cornered me, but Lapis saved me. Now she's off getting the ocean gems from the basin, I explained. I knew that girl was up to no good, Kunzite said. I should have known that she was Shoral. You knew about her before? I asked. Duh, I already told you. Yellow Diamond told me everything I need to know about the Himitsu before I crash landed here, Kunzite said. Their leader is Shoral, and she can mind control everyone, even me. That was the bitch who was hassling you earlier? Yes, I muttered worriedly. It's a fucking wonder why she didn't mind control you then, Kunzite said. Your body could take a lot of hits, and your scythe isn't anything to sneeze at if you use it right. You probably would have been good for Himitsu, especially considering that you look like a human as it is. No, she doesn't. She's pink! What do you mean she looks like... She's pink! Her skin is a damn near bubblegum pink color. What do you mean? Actually, no, it's not bubblegum. It's a pastel, but still, it doesn't change the fact that she's fucking pink. No. And you better... And I swear to God, if it turns out that she can't mind control Morganite, because Morganite is super special, I'm gonna scream. I thought before I was kidding! I was kidding! I thought before I gasped, maybe she can't. What? Maybe. I mean, it is sort of weird for you, considering that you weren't born a gem and all. Maybe she has a mind that she isn't used to or something? If Shoral can't mind control Morganite, because Morganite was not born a gem, then this rule should also apply to Steven. If Steven can be mind controlled later in this series, but Morganite can't, I'm throwing my laptop off a cliff. I swear to God. That might be why she was always trying to corner me and talk to me, I said. She may have been trying to convince me without powers because her powers didn't work. Well, this should go on without saying, but whatever you do, don't join Himitsu, Kunzite yelled. I'll never forgive you if you do, and they'll probably kill you once they're done with you, considering that you're not a full-blooded gem. I shrunk, scared of her anger. But if that's the case, why do you like me so much if I'm not full-blooded? Because at least with you, I can get over it. You're an innocent kid, sort of ignorant to all this shit, so I have to like it, Kunzite said. You don't know any better, whether it matters... What? You don't know any better, whether it matters to be full-blooded or fusion or whatever. Okay. I promise English is my first language, guys. I promise. I'm just exceptionally dumb. Then we were at the temple and Steven was outside. Guys, we were looking for you everywhere. Where did you go? He asked us. Nowhere, Kunzite said rudely. I answered for us, though, since I thought Kunzite was too rude. A monster attacked the temple, and it knocked me out and poofed the ocean gems. When I came to, Kunzite left, so I went to find her, and when we got back, the gems were gone, so we looked for them, I explained. Anyways, how'd things go with Lapis? We couldn't find her anywhere, Steven said with a frown. Did you see her? Yeah, she's in the basin looking for Aquamarine and Cinnabar, I said. She's fine and not under my control, but I'm worried for her, said Shoral could still be around. Shoral? Who's that? Another new gem? Steven asked. Pearl came over when she heard us mention a new gem. What are you three talking about? She asked. What's this about Shoral? Do you know who she is too? I asked. There were Shoral on Homeworld, Pearl said. They weren't good people, but I didn't remember any of them staying on Earth. If there's a Shoral hero, it's bad news. We have to find her. Pearl got the other gems. You two girls need to tell us what's going on now, Garnet said. Then we all came inside and sat down in the living room. Kunzite explained the Himitsu, and I told them what happened to me with Shoral. They seemed concerned, all except for Amethyst, who looked excited. Yeah, let's go beat them up, she shouted. Easy now, Amethyst. Maybe we could resolve this peacefully, Pearl said. We just need to make sure that Lapis is taking care of the ocean gems. Pearl's not stupid. Pearl would not be all, maybe we could resolve this peacefully. These guys mind-controlled Lapis and had them kill a human. There is no going back from that. There is no peaceful solution to this. There's just not one. Just then, there was a knock at the door. I'll get it, Steven shouted. He ran towards the door. Pearl stood up and shouted, Steven, no! But he didn't listen and opened the door anyways. The first thing I noticed was the ocean gem was back. The second thing I noticed was that the person at the door had a lapis lazuli, an aquamarine, and a cinnabar in her hand. And the third thing I noticed was who was at the door. It was Shoral. Oh, yeah, of course. Why am I not surprised? Okay. I'm still very confused as to what is going on, but we're reaching the end of the story, which means hopefully I'll get answers to my many questions, but honestly, I kind of doubt it. This story is not very good at answering any sort of questions that I have. It just kind of goes on and on and on about pointless crap. Oh, but anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed! Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you are new. Check out all my social medias linked down in the description below, because if you don't, I am going to steal your toes! Goodbye.